I'll get this started. So good afternoon and welcome here to Mike Kenny Oval here in fabulous Cherrybrook. It's a beautiful afternoon in the AFL Sydney competition. It's round 16. We're heading headlong straight into the finals for 2013. Just a couple of rounds to go, and this afternoon we're out here to see the clash between the Pennat Hills Demons and the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs Bulldogs. Two teams that, well, at this stage should feature in the finals, although question mark possibly over the Bulldogs if they are to drop the next couple of games. Joining me up here, perched high above Mike Kenny Oval, is the club stalwart from the Pennat Hills Football Club, Gus McKernan. And Gus, beautiful day in Sydney and looking forward to a good match.
Yeah, it's a terrific day in terms of the weather, probably 24, 25 degrees, a gentle breeze wafting towards the car park end of the ground. So there'll be a couple of goals in it, I think, for the team that wins the toss. With Pennat Hill sitting in fourth position, one game behind third position, and a game ahead of Uni of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs, who lie fifth. However, Pennat Hills have got by far, a far superior percentage to Uni of New South Wales. In fact, the best percentage in the whole league, so it could well prove valuable for them on the final round of the season to determine the positions within the final five.
Just about set to get underway here. It's round 16 the AFL Sydney competition. Craig Abercrombie and Gus McKernan in the commentary box, and we're underway at Mike Kenny Oval. A few important outs from the Pennat Hills Football Club going into this game. Some big fellas in Bilby and Alistair Richardson coming out, as well as Daniel Witt. So a new look little lineup for Pennat Hills going into this game. But prior to that, I probably would have said Pennat Hills were special to win this one, Gus. But second thinking my tips there, in that a lot to play for the Uni of New South Wales. The potential could slip out the back door if they drop their next couple of games with, I think it's Western Suburbs and possibly even Sydney Uni coming home, with a wet sail. I think it's Campbelltown. It might be Campbelltown that are pushing for a spot in the finals. As Kafalis wraps up.
There's some very experienced players missing out of the Pennat Hills lineup. Sebastian Parker's another one. He's the fourth of the late withdrawals, all very experienced and valuable players.
Sebastian right at the top of my list here, but it's very interesting to see those names come out of the team list as we arrived here at Mike Kenny Oval. As we have another ruck contest here. Kafalis, as he always does at the fall of the ball, wrapped up in the tackle. Umpire's seen a free kick there. It'll go to Joel Robbie, vice captain. Play on is the call. Very tight on that one. He was able to get it away and lands in the arms of Richard Shroon. So the Bulldogs on the attack at the moment. Go inside 50, and that's Mason, I think. In fact, coming out there. In fact, it's not Mason. Expected Mason. It's Towan. And he will probably fancy himself from here. Breeze probably working against him going to this end of the ground. So he just goes long top of the square. Good set there for Mason. And he will go back and have a shot on goal, the big fella. The radar wasn't quite on last week, so he'll be keen to get this one away early and set himself for a big afternoon here at Cherrybrook. Hear the wind just picking up as Mason comes in for this kick. Kicks through it, kicks truly, and the Bulldogs are on the board with the first off the boot of Henry Mason.
Very strong mark and very accurate kick. I've only seen Mason play the one time, but he's certainly been impressive in the first 2 minutes today.
He missed his first 2 or 3 shots at goal last week, sprayed them either side of the majors, and really didn't set himself up for a good tilt at kicking a bag last week. But he lost to Campbelltown that game, which they would be ruining their chances in that game. They kicked really badly at their home deck. And they'll be keen to right that wrong this afternoon, and they're well underway to getting that started with the first goal on the board. The margin 6 points. We've played 3 minutes of this first quarter. Back in the middle. Widmer gets the good run at this one, but it comes down, doing some good ruck work there. The Pennat Hills club kicking away there, wearing 27 is Hare, late inclusion in the game. Now off the boot of Widmer, goes forward just off line, and first score on the board for the Demons is a minor score.
Doing the ruck work there for Pennat Hills was David Smith, who's missed a lot of football over the last couple of years, and Widmer is lurking in the forward line at the moment.
So Widmer, Tim for the Bulldogs in the ruck, and on the other side of the bench, Ted Widmer for the Demons. As the ball comes back, but it goes back with interest. Runga Adirik Rama has a crack at it, just slips through his fingers, but there's plenty of Demons players around this one. There at the fall, the ball was right. He picks up the free kick, holding off the contest, and such a key to their season and their chances in every game is Kieran Wright. Goes for a great kick on the chest of Adirik Rama, just pops off the chest and has to butt up with a tackle. Can't quite lock it in, and that could be high. The umpire says no on Alex's foot, and we'll see a ball up just outside 50. Pennat Hills attacking side of the ground. Plenty of numbers around this ball, and Widmer with much strength over that one gets it clear, but goes in the path of Angel, just couldn't find the handle, and it trickles over. We'll have a boundary throw in. Again, the pack forms. Nice big ground here at Mike Kenny Oval. Plenty of space to run in. Of course, the home ground for the Bulldogs, Village Green there, fades into comparison as far as size is concerned. Big tackle there laid. That was on Keel, but they're away, the Bulldogs. Down the sideline, playing with the white chalk, and it just goes over the boundary line. And we'll have another boundary throw in this side. So this time, attacking side of the ground for the Bulldogs.
A little known fact is that when this ground was originally laid out in the very early 1980s, the specifications were identical to VFL Park at Waverley, a very large field.
It's good to see that this ground has stood the test of time, unlike Waverley, as they push forward again. Off the boot there of Collett, drives them forward. The bounce favours the Demons. Coming away with it there is Irwin. Handball inside to right. Now they go long down the far side. This is a good kick. Just leading the ball there was the Bulldogs, and happy to just chip it short and go through the agency of Collett. Collett gets it to Golden. Golden likes to run, we know that. He'll get this one back and drive them long inside 50. Does so now and finds Keel on the lead, and it's a good mark. And Jeremy Keel will take the mark and pushing his case for a 50-metre penalty there, but not coming. Barnes, in fact, the umpire has given it. So this will be a certain goal for Keel. It was Peter Barnes that infringed him after the play. I thought that was a bit rough there, Gus.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the East Sydney player Keel was more persuasive with the umpire than his opposition, or quite how it occurred, but there didn't seem to be a lot in it.
Either way, Keel gets another one on the board for the Bulldogs, and they go up by 11 points early in this first quarter. Yeah, you know, always, as a former backman, that first touch that your opponent gets, you always want to make sure he earns it. He knows that you're coming, and on that occasion the umpire had a different thought.
Then again, if you push the player after they've taken the mark, it's very easily able to incur the umpire's wrath, and it in fact happened that time.
Either way, it's Jeremy Keel who gets his first on the board for the afternoon, the Bulldogs second. And as we wait for the ball to come back to the middle. So a big test here for Smith. As you said, Gus missed a lot of football in season 2013, and he's up against Widmer, who is a very strong competitor in the ruck. So the on-balls will need to be at their best. Umpire comes in. This one favours Smith as he gets a nice run at it, but it falls to Kafalis. Kafalis with a nice pop-up. They're away now, the Bulldogs. Just onto the handball, went to a voice, and it was a good one. Just can't find the handle there. That one is Troon, and he overruns it, and Pennat Hills with a chance here, but boundary line wins out as Angel is carried over the line.
The new look Tommy Angel with the short hair, barely recognisable.
I must admit, I had to look to the sheet to see who was wearing 34. I thought it might have been an early substitution. Tommy Angel, hopefully he doesn't go the way of Sampson. Come away, and good attack there once again by Angel, but wrapped up. A good tackle applied by McAllister, although the umpire disagrees, and the kick will go to Thomas. Thomas now driving forward. This one to a contest, and unable to take that was Campbell. And good work by Adam Golden. They need to be aware of that Golden. He does like to run off the half-back line, and I'm not sure that Campbell is the sort of player who likes to push up the ground too much. So we'll see who wins that battle of tactics. In the ruck now, Widmer, Ted, this time for the Bulldogs up against Rodriguez. So we'll change in the ruck as they go forward. And wrapped up, we'll have another chance at it. Cracking day in Sydney this afternoon. Couldn't ask for anything better, and with the sunshine comes the sense of finals football. Umpire not seeing any sense of theatre on this occasion. Has seen a free kick in the ruck. It'll go to Widmer. Pennat Hills did play on and kick the goal, but the umpire had nothing of it. A little bit tough there. I thought there wasn't much of a stoppage in play, Gus.
Well, the play appeared to be continuous, but then again, the East Sydney players, they didn't anticipate play on being allowed. So Brant Jack was allowed a pretty easy run into an open goal. Now it's a difficult decision to understand, but that was what the East Sydney defence, I believe, thought was going to happen.
Ted Widmer with a shot on goal. This would put the first on the board for the Pennat Hills team as he comes around, improves the angle, and closes the angle with the kick, and it's a costly miss there. Just the behind.
Not the most reliable conveyance in front of goals, Ted, but kicks the odd one here and there. Straight down the middle here. Look at this. Way down the
Bulldogs
middle.
playing a very deep huddle, and it comes off for them. McKinlay, he gets the hands off, and now they're away. Keel well up the ground on this occasion. Oh, good run there from McKinlay. Hits it hard and hits it fast. Now he throws it on that right boot. Out in front there of Parmenter, but cutting it off as he does so well is Kieran Wright. And they should be away here. Irwin just fumbles it over the line. Good run by McKinlay of the Bulldogs.
Burst on like a meteor, didn't he?
I thought the kick was going to be a fantastic one in front of Parmenter, but
The bounce didn't quite go in his favour, but he could well have easily run onto that one.
Mason up against Smith in the ruck. Mason wins this one down, and off the boot there of Williamson. He's just thrown on the boot, and I tell you what, it's gone straight through the middle, unknown to those around him, but he's kicked the goal. And a good kick there from Tom Williamson, and Bulldogs have another one.
Yeah, good snap there from Williamson out of that ruck contest. He knew it was a goal. The arm went up very, very quickly.
Can get a bit deceptive on that far pocket there, Gus. I actually thought they were a lot closer, a lot further out, and I actually thought the kick was going to go out in the bounds on the full.
Yeah,
those pockets do come in very quickly.
I find the goals at that into which East Sydney are kicking hard to sort of read as well.
Either way, we're back in the middle, and the Bulldogs have 3 on the board. They lead by 16. 12-minute mark of this first quarter. Now Thomas tries to drive the Pennat Hills Demons into attack. Runga just pushing it down in, trying to get in the path of Angel there. Couldn't do so, and the Bulldogs defence stands tall. Now in the arms of Collett. He throws on the boot, and they're down the left-hand side again. Just overrunning it there was the Bulldogs player, and Pennat Hills nice and calmly get it back into attack. Playing on now, had no option, just has to go short, and there's a good kick in the end. And it found Thomas. He's seeing a little bit of it early. Comes across. There is hair, it goes through his fingers. Just pops it up again. Now in the arms of Crisfield. Crisfield across. And gives it off. I think that's Preen.
Cameron Smith. With the Marcus Preen.
There we go, 23. On another late inclusion. He looks like a likely lad. Plenty of size about him.
He's one of our under-18 players, along with Jess Hare, Regan Pinker.
3 players coming to the... I'll tell you what, that's certainly a roundabout there if you take Parker, Richardson and Bilby and replace them with 3 under-18s.
Yes.
Almost a changing of the guard.
It sure is.
Preen now off the boot, kicks it in the man on the mark, unforgivable. And the Bulldogs now under a little bit of pressure, pushing through there. Good work by Brent Jack. He's dispossessed. Once again, another ball free. At the back is Kefalis. He seems to want to stamp his authority on the game early. And he's everywhere, as is this man Collett. They just need to get it up to him. McKinlay on the run as well. Good handball there out from foot. Found Collett in the end. Now with Troon. They go short. And they've worked this out well, the Bulldogs. And another kick down the ground looking for Mason. He's on a very long lead. And a good one. Takes it cleanly. Just has to tread water now to see what's in front of him. Goes there now. One-on-one contest. Pushing forward. Oh, I had to run and sit on it. That one there did Golden, I think it is, that's pushed forward. And at the bottom of the pack, Parman is wrapped up. We'll have a ball up. 14 minutes played, first quarter. It's round 16, and it's the Bulldogs by 16. Good work there from Smith just to push that ball forward. Golden now on the right boot, has a shot at goal, sailing on this direction. And it's another one from that pocket, gone straight through the middle. And Golden puts another one on the board. And they've got a good run at this early, Gus.
They certainly do. Their forward line's functioning very, very smoothly. Accurate kicking for goal with Mason, Keel. Oh, he had his shot right in front, but Golden's kick then and Williamson before. All very accurate kicks. The Pennat Hills forward line, it's just non-functional at the moment, missing the keys up there in Bilby and Richardson. And Ranga Adiri Wikrama, he's had a few fumbles and really no influence at all on proceedings yet.
The Bulldogs happy to go long as they go forward, which in effect is also taking Kieran Wright out of the game, who just likes to sit in that kick behind play. But they've got 4 on the board. The Pennant Hills Demons yet to trouble the goals column. They've had plenty of it down in their forward line, but it's the defence of the Bulldogs that have stood tall. Rodriguez unable to get his hands on this one, so comes down. And it's Keel with the ball. Now it goes across. They go into attack again, the Pennant Hills Demons. Needless to say, they'll be looking for a goal. Preen there, might have been tripped. The umpire said no. Now he could be holding the ball. No, we'll have a ball up. Thought there might have been contact below the knees there, but the umpire saw it differently. Plays clash, and good work there from the Bulldogs at the fall of the ball. They drive it forward, and it's in the arms of Cupido for the Bulldogs. Came into the side this week. And now they go central, and very well read there by Cameron Smith. And now he wants to move it quickly. The kick is a good one. Through the arms of Thomas. Now Kieran Wright. His kick smothered off the boot by Williamson. One of the goal scorers for the Bulldogs. Wright just seems to have that extra second when he has the handball out. They go forward again. Unable to bring that one in there was Stella Quilla. And the Bulldogs pounce. Short. McKinlay just dropped the ball, but they've got numbers at the fall. They go again. They've got numbers here as well if they want to get this ball over. One-on-one contest. Mason now on the lead. Goes to him now, and it's a good one. So trouble there for Irwin, who's not really matching it with the size of Mason. Nice little push out there. Umpire saw it. Chris Field. And Chris Field happy to go short. See what they can build here, the Demons. Short again. It's almost like they've felt like they need to maintain possession. Rob Watts happy to go backwards, just trying to find a way out. Chrisfield now laterally. Thomas. They've gone backwards in this passage of play so far. They need to start straightening up. They are taking a bit of pace off the football. Sorry, Gus.
Oh, yes. Irwin can't control it.
Collett now, hands off, and the Bulldogs are in possession, and this might hurt the Demons. Coming now is Cupido, goes short, and it's a good option, and lands in the arms of Troon. And he doesn't mind a goal, this Troon. The wind is blowing straight into his face. So he will entertain options along the way. A bit of Frustration amongst the Demons ranks as the interchanges happen. Troon, on the other hand, gives this one plenty of air. Hasn't got the legs, hasn't got the accuracy. In fact, it's gone out of bounds on the full. And Kieran Wright will take the kick. Wright once again goes short. This time Campbell well up the ground. He must have heard me. Campbell goes short. Edmonds. Now to Thomas. Seen plenty of it early. Happy to just work the ball up the sideline into the arms of Watts. Watts now has got a lead and doesn't honour it long. Wants to go short. And that was Pinker on the under 18 just spoke of, Gus.
Yes, indeed.
He goes inside. And they're just trying to chip this one short. Thomas again, well, his stats column's starting to get full already. Goes across looking for Delaquila. Just sits up in the breeze. Good enough to get it back. And now they go lateral again, so they're really playing around with this football, the Demons. And you don't want to do that in front of Peter Kafalis. And a good tackle there from the young fella in Pinker. Kafalis thought he was away. And Pinker just sized him up and brought him down.
It is asking a lot of youngsters of the lack of experience of Hare, Preen and Pinker particularly to come in to replace such seasoned players who are missing. But, well, what do? You can't play short.
Pennat Hills, this will be a Pennat Hills kick, just a shepherd off the marking contest. Watts goes short, the kick offline. Plenty of white jumpers around this one. Attacking it there well was Nichols, and they spin out of trouble. Wanting to use the hands now. He might be in trouble, and the umpire's seen this. Play on's the call. Pennat Hills need to capitalise on this. The ball's free. Kafalis doing such good work. Widmer now, long boot, going straight. Read well by Wright, and he'll have to mark right in the centre circle. Right now, once again, just a lazy kick, trying to get it over to Delaquila. It does so. In fact, it's Campbell, I think. Campbell goes long with the right boot, top of the square. Edirik Rama unable to get back on it. And the ball trickles over, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Look, the Pennat Hills players in the midfield, they're just burning possession when it comes to the forward line. They're giving them very little chance.
Certainly seems to be a team tactic to just maintain possession of the football and chip it around, but so far, although it's stemmed a little bit of the scoring from the opposition, it just hasn't really opened the game up for Pennat Hills. This one down by Widmer again, and the Bulldogs, struggle forward. Overrunning at Delaquila. Good enough to get back on it. Edirik Rama just throws on the boot left. Falls well for him. Now with Thomas. Handball's over. Campbell does like a goal. Slips over at the crucial stage. Back to Thomas. Has to kick quickly. Top of the square. What then they do here? Almost a marking contest there for the Demons. I think that was Angel. And still got possession, the Demons. Back to Delaquila. Throws it on the boot. Have they got their first? No. Offline.
Yeah, good work there from Tommy Angel. He got pulled off the kick though, but Demons still do open the goal scoring account.
I'm not liking the haircut from Angel, Gus, I must say.
No, he's
made it a very generic look out there. Very hard to call.
Yes, the two Angel boys, they were a bit hard to tell apart, but Tommy with his new Sean locks, he's hard to tell apart from the other players now.
Good long kick out of defence by the Bulldogs. In fact, this one's fallen in the arms there of Dunn. Nice short kick, must have been all of 15. Now he goes short looking for an option, kicks to a man who has to back in it there. Did him no favours, Watts. And the Bulldogs are away again. Going up the line looking for Keel. He's troubled out of it. Good work there from Campbell, who seems to have pushed himself up the ground a little bit, trying to inject himself on this game. Kafalis got a push in the back, and we'll get the kick. Peter Kafalis was not his very dangerous self, and he probably admit that himself in last week's game against Campbelltown, so he'll be very keen to re-establish his form. The ball goes forward, nicely read there at the back of the pack. The Bulldogs just left one down, and it worked well. Now it goes there. Bounced in favour Crisfield, just held up for him, and good work there. I think that in there is it Robbie?
Yeah, I think
Either way, the ball comes out and we'll have a throw up Inside 50 for the Bulldogs. They win this ruck contest again. Good handball over there from Rawlingson. Umpire's seen something here, and it'll come back to Rawlingson. Kick was offline, so it will come back. And already, Gus, the ruck's causing some problems for the Pennat Hills Demons.
Well, it certainly is. The lack of experience of the Pennat Hills ruck division is quite evident at the moment. Although Ted Widmer's a great competitor, and so is David Smith, but the East Sydney players, I think, have got a bit more experience in that department than the Pennat Hills players do.
Golden lurking, but Rawlingson decides to go himself. In fact, not set in stone just yet. Good work there. Coming back in there, 42. I didn't see who that is. Edmonds for Pennat Hills has to go along Rawlinson, and the mark's been taken on the line. It's Mason. Tough kick, but a good mark.
He's too big and too strong at the moment, Mason. He's got very good hands.
Well, what it's doing is it's forcing Wright to go with a player, which he doesn't like to do. He does like to play that extra number in the back line. And even Stowe, Mason's just too big and too strong. Difficult kick. Henry Mason has kicked one already this afternoon. Goes now on the right boot. Umpire likes it. Through the middle, he's got two on the board. Much to the dislike of the Pennat Hills players around, but the score will count. And another one on the board for the Bulldogs. In fact, there's a free kick being given as well after the play, and it'll go to the Bulldogs. So disastrous for the Demons. They'll get another shot on goal. It'll be a 12-point play. And this is not good for the home side. Must admit, I didn't see who it was. It looks like it's against Smith, Cameron Smith. And a brave call by the umpire. We'll see Parmenter have a shot on goal. And as quick as you like, they will skip out to a 27-point margin. Parmenter makes no mistake. His first. In fact, it'll be more than 27. It's 33. I didn't even have a chance to put the goal on. And it's 6 goals straight to the Bulldogs. 3 behind Pennat Hills. And interesting scenes here, Gus.
Look, if you'd said before the game that this was going to be the case, 6 goals straight to 3 behinds at this stage to the visiting team, well, he could have called the police and been locked up. But here it is, it's happened, and that last goal was just disastrous. I can only imagine the umpires offered some unsolicited advice.
25, nearly 26 minutes played here in the first quarter, and it's the Bulldogs by 33. And it's not as if they've just run away with the game. Pennat Hills have had plenty of it, but they've aren't able to capitalise on the scoreboard. Whilst at the other end, 6 goals straight to the Bulldogs. Of course, a couple of those from right in front, but then also a couple from way out. So they're doing it all at the moment, the Bulldogs. Rodriguez there up against, I think that's Smith in the ruck still. And wrapped up is Collett. And we'll have another run at it. They go again. This time it comes down to the favour of Angel. He's wrapped up, and we'll do it for a third time. But the umpire's having a close look at it. You're not doing enough, Angel. And that's holding the ball. So McKinlay gets it on quickly. Now they look good. Troon, I think it is. He's kicked, felled after the play, and the umpire had a good look at it. Had a long look at it. And decided to pay it. Wow. And he's away, Golden. Oh, you can't stop that, sir. He walked straight across the mark.
I think that should have been permitted too. The Pennat Hills player was on the mark, so
well, at some stage he must have been on the mark because he walked from one side to the other. Either way, Golden now has a shot on goal. Goes to the top of the square. Mason lurking. He brings it down. Just touched off the boot. Puts it in front of Towan. And the ball goes over the boundary line. So, well, the siren can't come early enough for the Demons at the moment, Gus. They need to regroup at quarter time and see what's exactly happened in this first quarter, but take nothing away from the Bulldogs.
My suggestion early on that the winning of the toss might be beneficial with a slight breeze. Way off the mark, I'm afraid.
Good work there from Mason at ground level as well. Just pops it up. He's doing everything, the big fella. Comes out now to Nichols. Has to go backwards to go forwards. Does so now. Quick boot. Collett And there's players back on the line. Kieran Wright. And just get it long and get it out of the dangers area. He does that now, finds a target there in Widmer. Widmer plays on, under a bit of pressure now, but has a player running past. And I think that might be Angel. Throws it on the left boot.
This is where it gets hard.
And the half back line, although good work there from Jack. Throws it on the boot, too short. And just as they were starting to trouble the goal umpire, the siren sounds, and the story of this game so far, it's all Bulldogs, 6 goals straight, 36. Pennat Hills yet to find a goal in the column. They've only kicked the 3 behinds, and Gus, they'll be stunned, the Demons.
Well, they're certainly stunned, and the coaching department will really have to come up with a few answers here. I don't know quite what the answer is myself. I'm glad I'm not a football coach, but Chris Yard and his brain trust has certainly got a bit of thinking in front of them. But look, the Pennat Hills midfield, their delivery to the forward line is just, it's doing the forwards. They're all inexperienced, or mainly inexperienced forwards. It's just not working for them. Whereas with East Sydney, or New South Wales, East Sydney, when they go forward, there's a key player there in Mason, and there's a number of others that are able to pick up the crumbs. There's a real method about the way they approach their forward line attack, whereas Pennat Hills at the moment, they have little system at all.
They're coming off a few losses. The University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs Bulldogs, they've dropped their last, I think, 2 games, to start a horror run into the finals. But the story so far here at Mike Kenny Oval, it's 6 goals straight, the University of New South Wales Eastern Sydney 36. They lead by 33 points over Pennat Hills, who have just kicked the 3 behinds. We're going to take a short break, but join us back here very shortly for all the action from the second quarter.
Okay, those last 2 goals, we got one of them right, it was Pennat, the other one was Mason. So Mason's now got 2.
sorry, I didn't realise you weren't allowed to be on the ground. Oh, so my job is to stop people like me. Don't do it. Do as I say, not as I do.
We're back for the second quarter here at Mike Kenny Oval, and the story is the Bulldogs lead by 33 points. They've jumped the gun here in this first quarter, and the question's being asked of the Demons, what can they come back with? So we join the second quarter. And Widmer once again starts where he finished off, but wrapped up in the tackle.
As in Tim Widmer, the Uni of New South Wales ruckman.
Delaquila was wrapped up there at the ground level. Widmer for the Bulldogs up there against Smith, and really has the size differential. Good kick out of the centre there from Edmonds. They go forward on a rare occasion, and Dewick Rama has pulled this one in. Hands off now to Wales. Just can't find the handle, and Golden, clear as you like. Now Kafalis, they've got plenty of wide around this one. Golden's run on, he'll get this one back. Does so now. Throws it on the boot, and they're taking defence into attack through Keel. Keel now gives it back. Golden's run on, no one wants to go with him. Handball's over the top. There in front there of Foot, and it drops in front of him, and the umpire will have a close look at this. Wrapped up in the tackle. My ball, says the umpire. We'll have a ball up. So even though they got that one forward, the Demons, as quick as you like, the Bulldogs were able to repel the attack. And they now sit in good position. Coming away is Smith. On the left boot, goes wide. Nice little touch there from Dewick Rama. Throws on the left boot now. Just pops it up there. I think it's Campbell at the fall. Oh, that might be high. And it is against McAllister. And the kick will go to Preen. Saw him have a shot at the other end. As we said, Gus, the wind, if anything, is favouring the left of screen. But good side. It'll be a nice kick by Preen if he can get this one through.
Yeah, he's good size for a youngster, Preen. I think he's only having his third match today. Kicked a couple of goals last week against North Shore. But he's really being asked to fill up a man's job today. It's at a half forward, straight out of the under-18s.
So Preen, nice measured approach. Kick looks good off the boot. They're clapping it through, and finally in the second quarter, 2-minute mark, Pennat Hills Demons have got their first on the board. They reduce the margin to 27 points. A good kick there by Preen, the youngster.
Yeah, Pennat Hills can tighten up their discipline too. It certainly will improve their chances in the first quarter. Two of the East Sydney, or Uni of New South Wales East Sydney goals came from poor disciplined act from the Pennat Hills defence. So tightening up in that area certainly will improve their opportunities.
Their run of wins last week, they had 9 wins on the row. The Pennat Hills Demons came to an end as they fell. In fact, no, yes, they did. Fell to North Shore last week by 16 points. And at the moment, they're certainly under pressure from the Bulldogs. Good attack on the football there from, I think that's Rawlinson in defence for the Bulldogs.
Nice work with the body there from Barnes. He shepherded or blocked out the East Sydney Uni of New South Wales East Sydney forward and gave right every chance. Couldn't hold the mark.
Up there, it's a good mark. I think there's Mason pushing back into the ruck. And Rawlinson there at the fall of the ball as well. We'll have another ball up. Mason will get another run at this. Good work there from Smith to just get in his way, not give him a run at it, and good at ground level as well. Although here they go, off the boot of Troon. Goes forward, might have dribbled through, it's just offline, so they'll need to get this one back. Keel tracks it back, and it goes over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. What the spectator was doing there, thought he was doing a favour. He's kicked it 30 metres away from where it needed to be. So, ball comes in. Mason in the ruck, just nicely gets rid of his opponent. Collett with the tackle, dispossesses, but Pennat Hills have got it away now. Delaquila to run onto this, just bounces away from him. Finally lands in his arms as he pushes through again. Throws on the boot, nothing to go to. He's gained 30 or 40 metres, and we'll have a boundary throw in. As you said, Gus, they need to arrest a few deficiencies in their game so far, the Demons. Discipline being one, but just getting beat. Some key matchups around the ground. And they come down now. Delaquila gets his foot on the ball again, just dribbles it forward. Sits up nicely for Campbell. Tries to ride the bump and get the handball away, but there's plenty of white jumpers around this, one of which is Kafalis. Throws it off the hands there. Gives it across to Williamson. Williamson just works his way to the pack to go the other way, and Nichols is away. Got a plenty of space to run into now. A couple of leads on offer now. And the kick, not a great one. Just sits out in front, and we'll see it over the boundary line. It was Troon that was the target.
Yeah, the only two Pennat Hills forwards who are looking like a danger at the moment are Deary Wickrama and...
Campbell's
back to that one. Campbell, yes, he's covered a lot of territory.
They go forward again, the Bulldogs right now. Just stems the flow ever so slightly. The kick's a good one. And Delaquila's just working his way into the game. One of the veterans for the Pennat Hills Demons. Been around a long time, Damien Delaquila. Goes down the boundary line now. Just knocked over. Good work there from Foot. Now in the arms of Plant. Has to go one way, goes the other. The kick, a little indecisive, but luckily it came off to Kafalis. His handball hits the deck. There's plenty of numbers around it though. And now Towan, I think it is, no. Once again, they go forward, the Bulldogs. Mason, the target, comes down. Parmenter, fall the ball, just wants to get it forward, does so in the end, but well read by the Demons players. And now under a lot of pressure there was Irwin, and Mason dispossessed him, and they just want this over the boundary line, the Demons. Not going to happen. It comes back inside now to Collett. Collett throws it on the left boot, offline, and over the boundary line on the full. Kieran Wright will take the ensuing kick.
I've just come to the realisation that the other Angel brother, Harry, he's also been to the hairdresser. It must have been a job lot. Both he and Tom are totally different.
That's just disrespectful to commentators, that is. You can read nothing else into it than that. The long hair of the Angel boys all gone in one foul swoop. Mason with a good run on this, or stood tall did Thomas, and we'll get the free kick. The umpire was pointing the wrong way, and there was a little dissent among the locals. Thomas goes inside. They've got numbers here if they want to run it. Good work through the centre of the ground. And the target there is a good one. And that's gone to Angel. It's up a little bit proppy.
A good run came from Cameron Smith.
Goes inside. Dangerous kick this one. And it doesn't come off, although the umpires found a 50-metre penalty here.
Where that came from, don't know.
In the end, it'll turn what was going to look like a turnover and a repelling attack on goal into a lucky escape for Angel.
It was indeed. It was all the way a turnover if the umpire had failed to award the 50-metre penalty. So, Tommy Angel, the new style hairdo.
Angel now to put the second on the board. Only 2 goals this quarter so far, and they've both been off the Demons' boots, so Well, we have a scoring end, Gus, but we also have a fight back from the Demons.
Yes, good to see. A little bit more system coming into the forward line, though both goals have come from free kicks, but they were there.
Not sure, still not sure what that 50-metre penalty was for, but I was certain of it. So we find ourselves back in the middle. A mini fight back from the Demons. They've reduced the margin to 21 points. They're 2-3-15 now. They've kicked only 2 goals of the quarter. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, well, they're 6 straight in that first quarter. Still sees them in the lead. Approaching the 10-minute mark of this second quarter. Smith will go up against Rodriguez. And favours Rodriguez, gets a nice run at it, just pushes it forward for the Bulldogs. McKinlay there was approaching, ends up with Wales. He goes back, and now they're looking for Delaquila on this far side, backing back. Good work there from Thomas, earns himself the free kick.
He's taken a few heavy knocks today, Matt Thomas, but he's durable.
Thomas now off the hands, goes to right. Right now looks to put that long booming kick in. This one doesn't come off just as he'd like it, but well run there from Campbell. Campbell pops up. Derek Rama attaching this one, but as is Rodriguez, the resting ruckman, and he does well to get that off to Plant, and Plant pushes him sideways. Good work there from Keel. Ed hands it over to Nichols. Nichols with a short kick, just worm burning that one forward, and puts his teammate under a bit of pressure in McKinlay, but he does well to get it back. The hand's too quick there once again for Keel. Could have been in the back. Umpire says play on. He'll have a close look at this one. He's set, he's loaded, he's gone. And there'll be a 50-metre penalty too, so just when we thought they might have arrested a few things, the Demons, it's another 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, little point in pleading your case there after 50 metres already been given against you, Cameron Smith.
So Keel, too far out to score you'd think. Puts it long now, top of the square, Mason the target, and in fact he's got the distance and it's gone through for a minor score. So the first blemish on the board for the Bulldogs. They now lead 6-1-37, Pennat Hills 2-3-15. And Kieran Wright in no hurry whatsoever at the moment to get this one back. It always amazes me, Gus, when there's players calling and leading and moving and the ball's 30 metres behind the goals.
Yes.
It's a little early.
A few dummy runs here and there. Kieran Wright's kicking today has been pretty poor, and that's another ordinary one.
Finds his target eventually there in, I think it's Hare, and he does well just to keep that one in possession. Move it on now. Delaquila had a few touches this quarter, being one of the improvers as the game goes on, and here's another one in Campbell. A good mark, contested mark there. Nick Campbell moves it on quickly. Derek Rama has a perfect run at that one.
Lovely
the kick
pass.
was good, the lead was better. Now he throws on the left foot, sees an open player, and it'll fall beautifully for Dunn. Just has to find a boot to it. Can't do it, so this occasion, this one is also too far out, and it'll eventually trickle over in the most ugliest of fashions. And poor old James Dunn.
He had every chance there, I thought.
Ball just didn't sit up for him on the occasion, and this time it'll be brought back by Golden. Opportunity gone for the Demons, you'd think there. As the Dogs drive it long again. Just have to bring this one down. In there is, I think it's Cupido, late inclusion. Too high, the free kick. And the Demons will reload. Kicks a good one, finds a free player there. Let's see who that is. Is that one of the Angels?
It is, yes. I think it's Harry.
Okay, he's cut the hair off, but he's wearing the blue leg brace. Is Angel, and this one flies well over the back for Wales.
Been a very quiet player. This is, I think, his second possession from mine. So let's hope he makes the most of it. He's usually a pretty reliable kick.
Can be very damaging, Tim Wales, and this, the opportunity to put their third straight on the board. Third unanswered goal at least, but that kick's not going to go anywhere near the main. And comes back down. Could have been in the back there against Adiri Grama. The umpire said no. They've worked it well. Nichols across to Collett, who goes through, I think that was Robbie, and they move it down the sideline. But this is what Pennat Hills have been doing a lot better this quarter, just chopping off those half-forward, half-back lines. And now Crisfield, once again short, so loose players everywhere. Campbell can kick a long bomb, but goes sideways, and that kick's not a good one. Towan unable to bring it in, so they get a reprieve. They go inside again, looking for Derek Rama. Just falls over his head. They're on the attack, the Demons, although just being troubled out of it by the Bulldogs' defence.
Yeah, going across field there, just when you're just near the centre circle, I don't think it pays real dividends, but then you look for opportunities in the forward line, and there's not a lot to go to.
Quite obviously a team rule, that one, to try and maintain possession of the football, but the skills need to back it up. Wales wrapped up. Sorry, Angel. Wales is in there as well, and trying to get this on and clear of the Bulldogs now, and they do so. And some good defensive work linking there from the Bulldogs. No one really knows where that one is. Least of all Jeremy Keel, and Mason trapped up in a good tackle from Barnes. And we'll call this a boundary throw in. Mason a long way out from goal. So a few little structures from the Bulldogs falling down now. The Demons are working their way back into this game. Comes back, Golden. He's been very good this afternoon for the Dogs. Drives them forward. Troon in the area. Can't get it through. Crisfield quickly onto the boot. Falls there to the advantage of Foot. Just goes by hand and goes inside. Finds Towan. Towan throws on the boot, top of the square. Parmenter there. Can he find the handle? Bring it back inside. He's got to run at this one. Parmenter has to get rid of his player there in Vile and just pops it up nicely. And Collett takes the mark and he'll have a shot on goal. Great work by Parmenter.
Oh, it was. Stopping the ball going over the behind line was good in itself, but then evading the Pennat Hills defender and having the presence of mind to see Collett and put it right to him. Very good.
So Max Collett, shot on goal. This for his first of the afternoon. No troubles whatsoever. Works it in through. And the Bulldogs get their first of the second quarter, and it's off the boot of Collett. Well, they needed that one, the Bulldogs, just to stem a little bit of attacking plays by the Demons. Once again, the story being that they've had their opportunities, the Demons. They're just not able to get them on the board. 2-4-16. They trail by 27 points. 7-1-43. The Bulldogs.
Yes, the Pennat Hills forward line really showing the effect of the absence of players such as Alistair Richardson and Luke Bilby, two very experienced forwards. Good overhead. We don't have, or the club doesn't have that structure today, certainly.
You take names like that out of any side and it will hurt you, and especially when your fullback there is three young fellas from the under-18s, but here they go, the Demons, driving it forward out of the centre. Falls fortuitously there for Delaquila. He's dispossessed though, and the Bulldogs go on the attack. Tracking it back there was Smith, didn't bring it in. Now with Kefalis, strong enough to the player on his tail just to get it on the boot. Drives them forward. Mason does well. Second effort was brilliant. Pushes it up in the back. Could be the call against Foot. Sorry, it's going 4 Foot against Angel, and they're on the attack again, the Dogs. Foot drives it inside, looking there for, it was Rawlinson, but Kieran Wright under pressure again, just has to drive it long. Good work there, I think, from Angel again, and sees it over the boundary line. A good result for the Demons. 18 minutes played, second quarter. It's the Bulldogs by 27 points. The Demons have pegged one back, but they're not out of the jail just yet by a long shot. They throw it forward again. Plenty of Bulldogs once again on this one. Thomas Heath throws it forward. Player wrapped up in a tackle here. Incorrectly, says the umpire. So Foot again will have a chance to put them on the attack. foot kicks the ground as he comes through and doesn't quite get the distance. Keel in there, wrapped up. Kieran Wright as well. Umpire will have no option but to throw this one in the air. Not sure, Gus, what you think, but I think Rick Rama is probably wasted up there at full forward at the moment. So gives you a chance to push through the middle, try and give them some run out of the centre.
Well, he is, but just robbing Peter to pay Paul. He's a very influential forward when the tide is running our way, but he's had to battle this afternoon against all odds.
Just not getting the delivery at the moment.
I wonder if he was pushed up to the midfield, who the heck's going to go down there and take his role in the forward line?
Good point. And the umpire will ball this one up again, approaching the 20-minute mark of this second quarter. Ruck work there from Mason, just getting the front position. He's just an imposing figure up there, and he gets himself a free kick at ground level as well. So he does it all, the big fella. And he'll go back now, and he's having his shot on goal. This could be his third.
Judging by his earlier shots at goal, I think this is well within his capabilities.
Distance won't be an issue, and the wind really has dropped away in this second quarter, so shouldn't become a factor. If anything, is maybe behind his back. And he comes in, comes off the boost nicely. Look at that curl around. Fantastic shot on goal from Henry Mason, and he gets his third, and the Bulldogs are out by 33 points.
Well, there's a bit of a resurgence there from Pennat Hills early in the second quarter. A couple of goals to brighten things along, but East Sydney or Uni of New South Wales, East Sydney have very quickly pegged it back, so we're back as we were in the at the end of the first quarter with a 6-goal or 5.5 goal lead.
Checked on the time on here at Mike Kenny Oval, and it's the Bulldogs by 33 points. It tells you that size doesn't matter. Well, don't have a quick look at Henry Mason up there. He's done everything this afternoon. Overhead at ground level in the ruck. It's been the difference. As they go forward, the Demons trying to find an avenue to goal. Good work there, pushing it forward from Widmer, although it gets chopped off by the Bulldogs defender. Smith tracking this one back. Keel does well just to dispossess him. Goes inside. Quick hands from Kefalis, and not Kefalis, it's Cupido. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Widmer up against Smith. Smith shouldn't be getting into a wrestle with him. Try and come off the line. Try and get some a run at it. He's not going to out-strengthen Widmer, that's for sure. Now the Demons go forward again. Good work there from Thomas Heath. Just got himself involved. There is, I think that's Brant Jack trying to get the ball clear. Could have been a free kick against. The umpire said no. And now they're away. McKinlay for the Dogs. Goes forward. Nice lead. And they go into the attacking zone again. At the back of the pack there is Troon. And they just cede over for a minor score. 8-2 now. The Bulldogs.
The Bulldog forwards are running rampant at the moment. That attack there had loose players everywhere.
You just get a sense of excitement as the Dogs go forward, whereas with Pennat Hills going forward, you're just expecting that lateral kick and mucking around with it.
Very small chance of penetration for Pennat Hills.
Come down the sideline again. Parmenter runs onto this and sees it over. 22.5 minutes played. Second quarter here at Mike Kenny Oval. It's the Bulldogs by 34 points. Increased their lead by 1 over their quarter-time score. Rodriguez, good work. No one really wanted to go to him. Rawlinson, swooping handball, looking for Collett. Chopped off there by Wright, and he drives them forward again, but this is where they're falling down. Good work there from Preen. Nice pickup. Has an open goal to look at. Does so. Runga Derek Rama can't get it in. Nichols held with umpire, didn't see it. And he's done very well there, Nichols, to get that one clear. Now to Keel. Ed, that is. Goes across to Plant. Now they just drive out of defence. And they just seem to be working and linking up so well, the Bulldogs.
Nichols has been a very effective defender on Ranga Adiri Wikrama. Very effective.
Keel now with the ball. Too far out to score. Goes short. Oh, the kick's good. The mark was brilliant. Plays on now. Throws on the left boot. Looking for... It's Troon there, and running on is Mason. Well, he can rove the packs now, Mason. He kicks his fourth, and the Bulldogs are out by 40 points.
Yeah, I guess the key at the moment is in the difference in the forward lines is the East Sydney or Uni of New South Wales forward line is very open, loose players, always somewhere to go to. Even then, the ball came off the pack. Who was there to rove it? They're very, very big and mobile full forward. Henry Mason makes his fourth.
You made the point there that Nichols is being very good in defence for the Dogs. Well, that started from his contest there with Adiri Wikrama. He was able to bring it down and move it on quickly.
As you say, Ranga held, but the umpire didn't see it, but it did not deter Nichols. He won the battle.
Bulldogs, they've got their 9th of the afternoon, and they're out by 40 points at this stage of the game. Good ruck work there, and coming off the back of the pack there. Great work by the Bulldogs. They're going to make you hurt. Now Mason has a run at it. Comes off his hands. Lands there for Rawlinson. Can't swing it around. And just a minor score. 9 goals, 357. Pennat Hills 2-4-16.
Well, Mason's just one of the thorns in the Pennat Hills side at the moment, but there's just no one in the Pennat Hills defence there that I can see able to match up any better than Irwin has at the moment. He's just so much bigger than anyone else.
Demons come out of attack. There could have been a push there. The umpire says play on, so not even getting the rub of the green at the moment with the umpires are the Demons. Dragging it back there was Angel. Goes to Thomas Angel. Goes one way, goes the other. And has nothing on but just a short option there. And Jack, well, he's having to do the defensive work against Plant. And Rodriguez sees this over the line, helped by Irwin of the Demons. And it'll be another boundary throw in. Comes in now. Good work there on that occasion by Smith from the Pennat Hills. Comes away with Crisfield. His kick, the bounce. Well, that's just a beautiful bounce for the Demons. Delaquila. He gives it over to Dunn, and just as they're on the attack again, the siren beats them. So it was a promising start to the quarter by the Demons as they kicked the first couple of the quarter, but the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs were up for the challenge, and they've increased their lead going into this halftime break. 2 goals, 4-16, not a lot on the scoreboard for the Demons, to 9-3-57. 41 points the margin here at Mike Kenny Oval in the second quarter, in fact, as we go into half-time. And Gus, just quickly, they showed a lot of promise, the Demons, in that quarter, but just weren't able to bring it out to the end.
Yes, the first 5 or 6 minutes were pretty good. The team opened their goal-kicking account with a pair, but the Uni of New South Wales fellows quickly got back into the game, levelled up with another 2 goals, added a third one. So they had slight superiority on the scoreboard in that quarter, but pretty much superior all over the field. It's very, very hard to see a Pennat Hills player who could really put his hand up and say, hey, I'm winning my possession, because wherever you look, they're outgunned in size, in pace, in smarts, and in the systems of the Uni of New South Wales midfield going forward into their forward line. Far superior to Pennat Hills. Mind you, they've got a real gun there in Henry Mason to aim at. 4 goals from Mason out of their 9.
So as we go into this halftime break, the margin's 41 points in favour of the Bulldogs. They lead 9-3-57. Pennat Hills 2-4-16. Join us in about 10 or 15 minutes' time. So we bring you all the action from the second half here. It's round 16 of the AFL Sydney competition. It's the Bulldogs by 41.
last week, wasn't it? I didn't until I saw the out. He's out. He dropped last week as well, didn't he?
Yeah, we did. The first quarter was fantastic. 57 to 15.
A couple of weeks to work it out. Yeah.
Go to mummy for 3 minutes. I'll go in there for 3 minutes. You go to mummy. I'll pay mum for a minute. That way you can I'll pay mum for a minute. All it's told is we'll let their full strength be there. You've got that before, haven't you?
Not like the ones we have to have. Not always.
What happens is those rolls we get them made by somebody else. Yeah. It's supposed to be free.
Did they say the ones we got moldy?
Moldy. Yeah, Nick told me.
Someone came out about it, but obviously didn't get back to their company.
That's nothing. It's huge.
I brought it back. They showed us straight away, and then we realised it was just energy. But it's not like you can tell. Like some days you think it's totally fresh, and other days you can tell, Oh, that's hard.
The company who does it for us, I think, it's 4 out of 7 days.
Oh, that's hard.
Say mould. Yeah, mould is what you said, mould.
It had green spots all over it.
Which is unusual. Usually you get one. If you get mould, it's usually a whole one.
It's a 6-pack. Then I found it again another day. I've still got it at school.
That was right though, wasn't it?
It was right. We added the 45 seconds and we got it. 8 minutes.
I'm just going with
So who do you do? What bread do you make now?
Wonder White, Velvets, Lawsons. You had 6 goals, 3 behind.
So just the white
5 goals.
variant.
Oh, no, multiple holders is multigrain and all that stuff.
We just get your brand and white and multi-grain.
No.
But then we change the roll. What does it go with the
So the
rolls?
rolls are very expensive to make. And basically our bakeries in New South Wales are run down. So we're in the midst of remodelling. It's going to cost us like $120 million to do. So as part of doing that, we outsourced our rolls because they're really fiddly and we're not very good at them. So we gave them to another company to do it.
You used to have these really nice long ones that we used to get. Now there's some of those they're long, but they're sort of.
They're not as long now. And that was the other problem. Every state had a different standard. So you might have a 7-inch roll in New South Wales, a 6-inch roll. So every time we had a national customer, say KFC or something like that, it's room for a spin.
And I notice people learn to say also all schools that if you work, like we get a lot, but other schools don't. So they're charging
Delivery fee, yeah.
and the bread went up as well.
That's paid by Sam. We just can't afford to be the Australia Post anymore.
Fuel and transport. We get a lot because we're a big school, right? Like 2,000 each, so we need a lot. But I know primary school people.
We've almost stopped delivering to really bad schools. So they can go and buy from Coles Woolies or there are PFD and Big Best can sell it to them. So I keep on the brand, so 7-Eleven now also stuff. We sell 180,000 units a week, which is not a lot. And that's roughly $180,000 worth of gross margin. When you actually evaluate how much it costs, we lose $4 million. So that's why we've just been doing all that sort of stuff, just talking about
Which is what is it the same for school?
I think you're pretty hard to see. I don't know what it's for.
there's a certain amount you have to sell to be a
Do you
worthwhile
get
stock.
it's subsidised by the government now, isn't it? It used to be.
You get nothing for nothing. You guys might get really paid, but we don't.
No, we didn't. We thought it was always subsidised.
We get nothing.
That's what at 1 o'clock. Going to bed at 1 o'clock, getting up at 5 o'clock, and then coming and running a dead full boundary video.
What was the message, James? Well, just
Like to what we started the game. Yeah. That's all. Just go back to what we started.
that didn't work for us, though. We had 6 goals kicked against us.
What's your favourite jersey? The ball gets in there quickly. Good.
It's a long way home.
Good as fucking scoreboard.
Yeah. He was an idiot.
I agree totally with that. The stupid 50-metre penalty was written late.
What was the free kick after the goal for? Do you know?
Don't know. No, but I presume, or I think it was for using the goal.
Oh, really?
I think something to women. I think the goal. I think someone got the goal on fire.
Unnecessary.
They wouldn't have wanted to try that on the first woman to ever do umpiring at AFL level. The player she knew it. She was from Brisbane. The funny part about that is her husband had done the NAB Cup or whatever it was called back then. And when it came to the panel for the actual season, he didn't make it, yet she did. Interesting conversation at home, that one. Imagine that one. Well, should be sad.
You put your bins out this week. Yeah, I'm busy.
He was the association president at, what do I call it? In Queensland, in Brisbane.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, give a long one, 2, give a long one. Not 500, they're only 200. Better than that day. Remember we were at the we couldn't get the lights on?
Oh, yes. Was that you guys? Yes, I remember that. I was up in the box doing this.
It looks like we're not coming out. We've had enough. Had a run for it.
I just don't want to play after dark. I don't blame us. A little bit of phone, George. Speaking of phones.
Hey, Craig. Good. Yep. Yeah, don't have to worry about it. Okay. No worries. Okay, mate. Cheers. What is that? 3,
Yeah, but
You want to tell that to
I'm blind that side.
You want to tell that to some of their players?
Oh.
That should have been the message at half time. Call the ball.
Yeah, I'm blind that side, buddy.
Hey, listen, every other team, every other club's been good, it's just you blokes. We can't, the cord only goes this far.
About set for the third quarter, just waiting on Gus to get into our position. Underway in the third quarter. Just get the Bulldogs on the attack, and I tell you what, that's a fantastic goal kick there to open the quarter. Unfortunately, just waiting to get into position to see who that was. And the Bulldogs, well, they've come out of the blocks straight away, and it's a goal to Williamson. That is his second of the afternoon. And straight away they get another on the board. The margin now at the 47 points, even before we had a chance to welcome you all back. And coming off the wing there, Williamson slotted that. It was a fantastic slot on goal.
It was a brilliant kick at goal. It's been the way of the forward line there at East Sydney or Uni of New South Wales all afternoon.
I tell you what, you've got all half time to sit down and dissect what's been going on in your game, and if you're Pennat Hills trying to work out a strategy to get it all back on track, and well, the Bulldogs come out and do that to you, and it's almost set you right behind the 8 ball now. Keel throws on the outside of the boot. They've got runners. Tracking it back there is Robbie. Happy to go backwards to go forwards. Handball over from Pascoe. Gets it back to Widmar. Widmar's little worm-burning kick, well, not exactly where he wanted it to go, but it worked out well in the end. And then the kick towards, looking for Parmenter, who's resting up there in the forward line. And Crisfield, well, he was quite happy to see that one over the boundary line. Had an opportunity to get rid of it, but disguised it well. And the opening goal of the term going to the Bulldogs, and they're in attack again. Mason in the ruck. Up against Smith. Well, the ball comes to the back. Angel tracking it back, and he just bombs it on the boot. Just trying to get them going forward. Golden trying to slot this one off, but just falls out of his hands. They go forward now. Good gather there from, that's Preen. And Adiri Wickrama trying to get his back on it, but good work from McAllister. Now Adiri Wickrama gets on the right boot, but there's no one home. And easiest of marks taken by Ryan Plant. There's just no form, no structure going forward, and well, where are we now? Round 16. There's only 2 games to go beyond this before we get into the real stuff, and this is a big wake-up call for the Pennat Hills Demons.
Yes, after such a long run of wins, I think it was 9 in a row until last week, this is some turnaround, all right.
Come back inboard again, just trying to maintain possession are the Demons. It's in the arms of David Smith. Kick, not a great one off the boot. In fact, it's dreadful.
That's typical of the way the midfielders in the roving division have delivered the ball to the forward line.
Oh.
No chance.
Mason, well, he's been my best on ground so far. It's an easy one to go, and the blokes kicked 4 goals, and it's been his work around the ground that's really impressed. And Parmenter, even his kicking skills are fantastic. So he's really hit his straps at the right time. Has Henry Mason, and now Josh Parmenter will go short, and that's just very loose checking. And Williamson, the goal scorer earlier in this quarter, he's set to have another shot on goal. He's already kicked 2 for the afternoon. And at the 3.5, nearly 4-minute mark of this second quarter, he almost has a chance to put this one to bed. A lot of football still to be played. Williamson. Nice kick off the boot. straight through the hay diddle diddle, and the Bulldogs have got the second on the board. They're out to 11-3, 69, 53 points ahead of Pennat Hills, 2-4-16.
Well, this is not the beginning or the kind of beginning that the Pennat Hills hierarchy was looking for. 2 quick goals to Williamson makes him a tally of 3 for the afternoon, and their goal kicking generally has been very sharp. And centre bounces are another area that the Demons are finding very, very hard to go with. David Smith, a tyro ruckman, but he's short on stature and he's really got a battle on his hands.
If you look back to the last time they met, it was the Pennat Hills Demons back there earlier this year. And they came away with a 20-point margin, 26-point margin there. And look at the goal kickers. Well, it was Luke Bilby who kicked 4, and there was 2 by a little bloke called Matthew Carey in that game as well. Both of those missing from this Pennat Hills sides today, and missing them dearly at the moment. Dispossessed there too easily from his Towan. He got rid of his opponent in Barnes. Looked like he was playing for the free kick. Mason at the front of the pack comes down. Falls to the advantage there of Thomas. And once again, just no attack on the football. There's 4 Demons around this one, and the only player really wanting to go for it was Kefalis, and he effected a ball up. Ball comes up as easy as like for Widmer, just pops it down to Collett. Collett throws it on the left boot, and at the back of the pack, Josh Parmenter, the ball bounces away from him. He tracks it back though, still got a chance. Handing off, he just wants to hold it himself, gives it to Towan. Towan is dispossessed. Umpire had a close look at it, let it go. And once again, Parmenter in there, fighting hard for this football. And the umpire says, I'll have it. So even at 53 points ahead, the Bulldogs are not resting easy. Still attacking the football. They're really showing Pennat Hills how the game needs to be played today.
Indeed they are.
Good work there from Smith, just trying to work his way through the pack. Pops out to Crisfield, having the battle with Parmenter up there. Could have been a high tackle. Umpire didn't see it. Parmenter pops it up. They've done well here, the Pennat Hills Demons, to just keep the ball moving their direction. Crisfield comes up and pleads his case. I reckon he had one to plead. Mason comes out to do the ruck work against Smith, and as easy as you like, strong from Mason, just pushes him away. On the left boot of Towan, goes towards goal, offline. 11 goals 4 now, the margin 54 points.
I mentioned much earlier this afternoon about the Pennat Hills percentage being the best in the league. Well, right now it looks like it's going to take a real hammering in this, should the team lose.
Pennat Hills with a percentage of 174 or thereabouts. Closest to them, well, Manly were into 171, and then they're sitting in first position at the moment with St George Dragons in second, 161. So, and with the top 3 teams all on 48 points, and let's not forget Pennat Hills had a chance to be amongst that top 3 last week and would have gone up into first spot had they won last week. They now find themselves in 4th, and after this weekend, well, depending on results here, they could even find themselves in 5th, but they will play finals, that's no question about that. But the University of New South Wales have played a game this afternoon that they really needed to do, and if they are, well, let's face it, they look like they're well on their way to winning this one. They will book their spot in the finals. The umpire's seen a free kick here, and it's gone downfield by about 3 metres to Plant. Plant throws it on the right boot, and in there is the big man again. And they say it so often, too big, too strong, too good.
Indeed.
And Mason will line up for his 5th.
Yes, he's making a meal out of the Pennat Hills defence here today. There's no one that can fly with him, no one can outbody him. He's just a man who's reigning supreme.
Mason now for his 5th goal of the afternoon. Comes off the boot well and straight through the middle. Mason's got 5. They're out to a 60-point margin. It's 10 goals here at Mike Kenny Oval.
Yes, it's a real exhibition from Henry Mason, and as I've said several times, Pennat Hills don't have any answers in defence, particularly to his ability in the air, although his groundwork hasn't been all that bad either. Rode off the pack in the second quarter beautifully, right on the edge of the goal square, to kick another one of his, that was his fourth goal then, and riding off the back, and that was goal number 5, 1 moment ago.
9.5 minutes played. It's the Bulldogs by 10 goals in this third quarter. Very much a shadow of the team that ran out against Campbelltown last week. Whether or not the intent was not there when they met with the Blues out at Village Green, but they certainly had some intent here, and this one player's been one of them, Golden, and he hits Mason. Well, he just juggled it, brought it home, and well, what could he do this afternoon? This is 3-6 in the third quarter. He kicked 31 goals going into this match, so he's now on 36. Leading goal kicker at the moment out there at Western Suburbs, Rory Miller, 48. Hasn't played a lot of football lately though, so Mason comes in, high boot, gives it a lot of air, reads it brilliantly, and it's another one on the board. He's got his 6th.
Yes, 6 for Mason. They don't seem to be missing Lee Lavery at all, their goal kicker of years gone by, or years, in fact, as recently as last year, Lee was kicking a lot of goals. It's a spot that's readily been filled up by Henry Mason this season.
Disregard that siren in the background. It's not the mercy rule. There's obviously something going wrong with the inbuilt siren here at Mike Kenny Oval. We resume normal transmission. 11 minutes played in this third quarter, and Coach Chris Yard just not got any answers at the moment. Smith trying to jump into Widmer there. He did better, but at the ground level, Kafalis, Golden, those two have linked up so well this afternoon. Mason just let this one bounce and took it out of the air. Goes after one, gives it back to Towan. Towan pops it up to Collett. They've got all the numbers around this. Collett throws on the left boot. It's online. It's just left. From on to score. Would have been a good one. 12-5-77 plays 2-4-16. And that's probably the most worrying thing, Gus. They've only kicked 2 goals for the afternoon, the Demons. They've just not looked like threatening at all.
That's quite right. It's a forward line without any power, any punch, any system. No, it's a very, very abject performance by Pennat Hills this afternoon. I nearly said disappointing, but it's more than that.
I'm not sure how it goes in terms of words, if abject is worse than disappointing. Smith through the middle.
Cameron Smith, he's done okay, but
he's tried hard.
Yes.
Just not a lot of support around him. Done. Now they look like they're going longer and more direct. This one comes down to Brant Jack. Throws it on the right boot, and it's offline and out of bounds on the full. Another player has a very quiet afternoon, Brant Jack. Yes. Down there in the forward line. He has not been Robinson Crusoe in that regard, yes, by a long way.
Brant Jack in the, you'd have to say, the twilight of his career, not having the best of afternoons today.
McKinlay on the right boot. Oh, good work there from Adiri Grama, who seems to have pushed up the ground, and the tackle following through. That's what they need, the Demons. They need to have someone step up and take the lead. And it looks like Runga Adiri Grama is going to be that man. And the ball goes out of bounds. Look at the run home. Well, Sydney Uni next week for the Demons. And they're a team that have improved as the year's gone on, and then they take on the Dragons in the final round of the season. So it's going to be a long way home for the Demons. They drive it through now. Collett gets it back off Towan. Just goes wide, looking for Kafalis. Couldn't bring that one in over the boundary line. Not the preparation you want going into finals, Gus.
With 2 rounds remaining, it's a worrying sign, all right, for the coaching fraternity of Pennat Hills, because I don't know how you turn performances around like this. With
Free kick here against the Pennant Hills. No, it's against Nichols. Umpire was pointing sideways.
Cameron Smith takes it.
Now, they move it on. It's in the arms of Thomas. He's had a good afternoon, Matt Thomas.
A lot of possession from him, done pretty well.
But that's not his best. And it's a turnover again. And Pascoe goes inside. McKinlay goes wide. Good contest there from, it's Irwin. Pops it up now to Hare. Hare gives it on to Pinker. So some of the young fellas linking up there. And Pinker's kick's gone out of bounds on the full. So nothing going right. 14 and nearly 15 minutes played in this third quarter. In they go forward, Mason. That's better. Kieran Wright there coming through and just making sure Mason doesn't get the easy run at it. Now wrapped up in the tackle is Kafalis. Umpire will have a look at this, holding the ball. So a little bit better from the Demons in the back half. And maybe that's the option, Gus. They need to put Wright onto Mason as a hard defensive contest.
Well,
looks like that's what's happening. You just see in the background there.
I think is there now. Short on stature, but he's the best defender that Pennant Hills have today. So he may be some chance on Mason, but while the ball's in the East New South Wales forward line, it's not likely that the Demons are going to score because they seem to lose all rhythm and it just breaks down as they go past the centre line.
Delaquila,
which he does now.
Over the back, lands in the arms there of Plant. Plant gives it off, gets it back, gives it off again. McAllister now with the ball. He drives them down the middle, looking for Mason. Well, he's everywhere. Just everywhere, this man this afternoon. He's had a game and a half. Henry Mason drives them forward. Keel dispossesses his player early on. Could have been holding a high tackle. The umpire said he ducked in. Kafalis now wraps up Smith, holds on a little long, and they're forced to just have the hurried kick out of defence. McKinlay on the right boot, top of the square, looking for Troon there. No, Rawlinson, but good work.
Matt
Thomas on the last line of defence. He goes wide now. Just nothing on offer at the moment for the Demons. Have to go back to Delaquila. Delaquila now to Smith. He wants to run. We've seen him do this so often. Does so now through the middle and going up with the one arm there was David Smith. Not going to bring it home with one. And Collett spins around 3 times. Falls to the ball. Widmer with a quick kick. Falls in the defence there of Williamson. Comes through now with Plant attacking the football. And Kafalis, well, he's always in there. Tries to get it forward. Couldn't be a kick off the ground in danger. There's not a lot going on. There's a lot of blokes standing around just having a look. They've almost resorted to the fact that this one's done. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Delaquila wrapped up in the tackle. It's a good effort there from the Bulldogs forward in, I think it's Rawlinson, it is. And this one will be balled up. The umpire with no option. I always say, Gus, that sometimes it's good to have a loss late in the season, and as we saw, they had that great run. The Pennant Hills Demons 9 on the trot, but they don't want to have a loss like this, where they just haven't even been competitive.
No, well, teams have lost it late in the season and still been successful, but very few teams who get trounced in the way that Pennant Hills are today look to be showing, well, look to have great prospects in the final series.
The Bulldogs and the Demons currently sit in 4th and 5th position, so there's every likelihood that these two teams will meet each other early on in the finals, possibly even in an elimination final. And to go in with this sort of momentum as well, if you were the Bulldogs, you would just love it. Pennant Hills, they just have to go back to the drawing board and find an answer.
It's hard to believe, too, that the long list of experienced players who are injured at Pennant Hills at the moment are suddenly all going to become available together. It's extremely unlikely that's going to happen.
Kafalis' kick was looking for Mason on a rare occasion. He's just put that one through the fingers. And we'll come back to him now. He'll have a second chance at it. They go forward again. So they're hitting it hard there was Cupido. And they come out and fortuitously lands in the arms of Brant Jack. Jack goes to the right-hand side. Good attack there from Ryan Plant, but it falls through his fingers. Coming back onto his foot. Nice little pickup. Has 2 to get around. Does well. Does it well enough to get the ball clear. Now Pennant Hills just pops up Angel, it was Angel, and they go away again, the Demons, but he's falling down at the crucial stages. Golden, he's had 2 bounces, now 3, has a shot, a teammate on the far side, and he finds him, and now it lands in the arms of Henry Mason.
Yes, as the ball goes forward to Pennat Hills invariably, and it's happened all the time in this third quarter. It gets to the half-forward line. It's like hitting a wall. There's just nothing there.
Mason now lining up for his 7th goal of the afternoon. Kick looks like a good one. They clap it through, and Mason's got 7. And just no urgency, nothing at all around the ground from the Pennat Hills Demons. They're resigned to the fact that this one is done and dusted. The margin now 67 points.
Yes, one can only describe it as a shellacking, and
It's smaller now. I think I've missed a goal there somewhere.
as I mentioned earlier, the percentage that Pennat Hills, which they've enjoyed for having such a great percentage for so long, will really bring them back to the field after this match.
73 points the margin, actually. We've missed a goal along there. 14-5 now to the Bulldogs. And 20 and a half played in this third quarter. We actually came here thinking we were going to get a little taste of finals action, but it's really been one-way traffic all afternoon. And the Bulldogs they're a different team. The umpire's going to ping him here, and he has. And it'll go to Pennat Hills. They go back to Wales. Been missing this afternoon, has Wales.
Here's the problem.
And to a contest. It's 4-on-2. Does well there, Nick Campbell, to just try and hold it up for a minute. Kick there off the boot of Edmonds. It's come back, nice little turn, and just touched over the line. And it was, and that's their first score for a long time. The Demons. Plant with a bit of run. Heath goes long, looking for McKinlay. 28-on-28, and the boundary line, the winner on that occasion.
Yeah, it's a big ground here at Pennat Hills. It's the Mike Kenny Oval. It's a bit of a job picking up players on the other side of the field with just a naked eye.
Rodriguez goes up against Widmar. Falls to the back of the pack, running onto it. Good work there. Williamson now with the handball across. Looking for, it's Kafalis out. It might be Cupido. And they're fighting amongst themselves now. Rodriguez tries to put on the arm and go, but held well there by Rob Watts. And the umpire will ball this up. Rodriguez goes up unopposed on this occasion, but Pennat Hills with the second touch. Just going forward, they just seem to stop on the ball. They're not running through it. And now it falls up for Widmar. Widmar throws it on the right boot, offline, and just the minor score, 2 goals, 6-18. The Demons, Bulldogs, 14 goals, 5-89. 71 points, the margin currently.
Lack of goal scoring power for Pennat Hills, it is a great concern.
What's the story with some of the forwards there, Gus, for those who've not been following the footy? I mean, the likes of Matt Carey.
Matt Carey's missed about 4 matches with a hamstring problem. Richardson has an ankle. Park has probably gone for the year with a broken hand. Bilby, I think he's at a wedding today, so we might see him nice.
So he should recover from that at least.
We hope so. And Dan Witt, I believe, has some leg injury. So, as I said some minutes ago, it's really fortuitous to have them all available together. I don't think it's possibly going to happen.
So the likelihood, possibly, I suppose, is Bilby comes back in next week, and Carey will, depending on how they're managing that one and what the extent of the hamstring. He is actually doing the running today, Gus. So you'd have to think that there's not too far away for Carey to come back into this side.
Yeah, some chance, and Bilby, of course, but I wouldn't rate the others much chance of coming at all. Until maybe during the final series.
Yeah, to roll the dice, especially the way it looks at the moment, where Pennat Hills will be playing in one of the elimination final in the first week. A couple of weeks to go yet. And Grant Jack a bit upset by the treatment he was getting. A bit of a lull in the game at the moment. 25 minutes approaching. And they'd be happy to go into the third quarter break, I reckon, both teams, and just come out and go through the motions. Unfortunately, for the last quarter, it was a game that was promising so much. 4th versus 5th, with the Bulldogs season potentially on the line. And well, they've secured their spot, and really it hasn't been the contest we were looking forward to. Rawlinson just poshed this one through. They've worked this well. Lands in the arms there of Troon. Troon goes forward looking for Mason. Flies. Can't bring it down. Towan now trying to kick up the crumbs. Mason with the second effort. Look at this. He'll just work this one. He won't give up. Mason, he's got the wind in his sails, and he wants to do the ruck work as well. So, is there any at all question on who's been best on ground this afternoon, Gus?
I think you got it pretty right early in the third quarter when Mason kicked goal number 6. I say the final medal votes are well and truly going to be recorded in his name.
He kicks this one forward, and even the ball's bouncing for him now. It comes back towards the goals. Golden push it up in front of Kafalis. Kafalis can do this well. Goes back, just goes short. That's not right. The kick he was probably looking for may have been, at this stage of the game, been forgiven for springing around, trying to snap it around on the left boot. Tried to do the team thing, did Kafalis. And can't begrudge him that, but have a crack, Pete. Comes down. Just a little tick over the top. Plenty of numbers around this tower and can't find the handle. Oh, good tackle there. I think that was Preen, the youngster, applying a good tackle.
Yes, it was Preen.
No, in fact, it was Angel.
It was young Harry Angel.
There were two options. It'd be either 1-3 or a 2-3, and I've gone the wrong option. Now Smith attacks it. Golden holds him up. But Smith's strong enough to get the ball away. Goes in front there and could have been holding the man. Umpire didn't say that. Vile puts it over to Preen. Now comes back to Watts. Just pops it up and they fall over. Widmer chops it off and drives them down the line, over the boundary line on the full. And they'll get a second chance at this, the Demons. 26.5 gone in this third quarter. Can't be long to go till the three-quarter time break. Goes long. Lie there, and it's a good mark taken. I think that's Pascoe.
Well judged.
Gives it across. Nichols now goes across to Troon. Troon tries to step inside, and he's holding the ball. Couldn't do enough there, so it's almost like the game has dropped down into a slower gear at the moment as they just play out this third quarter. 27 minutes gone. And I suppose the other thing is a little bit of preservation. Thomas throws on the right boot. That's a better kick, although it's read well by Heath. And just tracking the ball back. Adiriwick Rama, well, he's had a horrid day, not helped by the delivery or the lack thereof going forward, Gus.
No, he was well positioned there to take the ball, but the ball was kicked over his head, and goodness, it's hard for a forward to continually battle for kicks when the ball's not put to their advantage.
Right, Wright's come up properly on an ankle. That's not good news for Pennat Hills either. We'll keep an eye on that. They go forward now, and good work there from Irwin. Just one hand on the ball. Kieran Wright just running the ankle out there, so hopefully nothing too serious. They can ill afford another injury, the Demons. They go forward again. Adiri Grama hits the deck, and Nichols, well, he's won that battle this afternoon. That's for sure.
Indeed he has.
And the kick, not a great one. And Wright, well, we'll just have a look at this ankle as he might have just been a little burner. He copped, and all looks good. Widmer, Ted of the Demons. Top of the square sort of kick there, but just giving Adiri Grama no run at it whatsoever.
There's one other player that could return very shortly, and that's Ted Widmer's big brother, Sam. He's still recovering from a broken finger.
as we ponder what might happen in the next couple of weeks. The margin as we go into three-quarter time is blown out even further. It's 71 points now. Pennat Hills just the 2 goals for the afternoon. 2 goals 6, didn't kick a goal in that quarter at all. 2 goals 6, 18, whereas the Bulldogs, well, they've piled them on. They're 14-5, 89. And as we go into this third quarter break, the margin 71 points. Join us back here in about 5 minutes' time. We'll bring you all the action from the final quarter. Can Pennat Hills bring the respect back onto the football and back onto the scoreboard, or will the Bulldogs run away with it? Join us and we'll find out.
Where are you starting? Oi, are you going Bondi first?
Yeah, I'm easy. I'm only up for a while, you know. Half a dozen beers and
Half a dozen, 100.
very much run out of the school. You see the umpires at the hole? Oh, beautiful.
So the sun's shining here at Mike Kenny Oval, and as our cameras suggest, the sun's shining right on to the Bulldogs. They lead by 71 points in this game. It's all over bar the shouting at Mike Kenny Oval, but what can Pennat Hills do to bring some respect back to the scoreboard in this final quarter? It's been a tough day for the Demons here at Mike Kenny, and Gus, what can they bring out in this final quarter just to get some sort of momentum or get something out of this game rather than go away with their tails between their legs?
Well, one thing they could well aim at is improving their miserable score of 2-6. Yeah, that's. I can't remember the last time Pennat Hills went to three-quarter time with only 2 goals on the board. Absolutely no firepower at all in the forward line.
Yes, it's not the scoreline of a team that's preparing for finals football, that's for sure. And I'm sure with some of the other clubs watching this on, then they'll be interested to see what they can bring out in this final quarter, if anything, as September quickly heads into our view. And the Bulldogs, the Farless, well, that's a good start there from Preen, one of the youngsters that's trying to lead the way.
He's effected a few good tackles, Preen.
They go forward to Derry Glum and easily bumped off the ball here. There's umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go to Golden. And easily as we like, comes out of the defensive half. Kafalis, well, he's had a ton of it this afternoon. And this one, another one, although just dropped at the last minute by foot. Well done, just popping himself in front of himself, and he's get away from his defender in Wales. They go forward again. The umpire's sent a free kick here. It'll go to the Bulldogs again. So Smith, although trying to throw his body around and show a bit of assertiveness, has given away a couple of free kicks now. So Troon inside, looking for Mason. Easy as you like.
Yes, it's almost like he's playing with a TW Mason today instead of a TW Sharon.
It certainly was. Just for Widmer in that case, and just wasn't even in the same ballpark. So Mason, he's kicked 7. It's been the story of the day. He's lining up for 8 goals, and he'll get this because, oh no, I thought the umpire had seen an indiscretion, but just to break up the concentration of the goal kicker, there's been a blood rule on Kafalis. Surely you could wait till after the kick, I reckon, on that one, or just ask him to go off nicely.
That is pedantic, just blowing the whistle as a man's moving you to kick a goal.
Might have just seen Mason just checking, getting the all clear. Right, we'll go through this again. This for his 8th. He's had a day out here at Mike Kenny Oval. And off the boot, nice. Umpire's not even moving. Oh, that's a big course. He just didn't move off a line, and they were clapping it through, so it must have been close.
All the way a goal,
In
didn't
fact,
it?
if we have a quick look at the post there, even it opens up at the top for him to to give him a little bit of advantage kicking to that end.
Yeah, we're going on a score review there. Right?
Yeah, not good. As they come away again, Nichols, well, he's wrapped up. Good tackle there applied by Smith. Ball comes clear. Plenty of Pennat Hills players around this. The kick by Edmonds, just a scrubby one going forward. Good tackle by Delaquila. They've come out with some assertiveness in this third quarter. That's not an easy word to say. They push through. Angel tracking this one back. Goes down the ground, wraps up the tackler. And they're away again, so not giving up easily. That was Campbell with the kick away.
A strong tackle from Pennat Hills in the final quarter. It may well have been the coach's message. If you can show me nothing else, show me some strong tackling.
Seems like that might be the case. They've gone out there and said you need to get something out of this game, and if it's a little bit of physical presence, then that's something that they can take into the rest of the season. Angel, his kick smothered off the boot. They'll play this one on. Good work there from Pascoe. In fact, his handball was probably too hot for his teammate, and it goes over the boundary line. 72 points the margin here at Mike Kenny Oval. 14-6 plays 2-6. Just haven't looked like scoring at all, the Demons. They go forward now off the boot of Edmonds, but tracking it back nicely. Thomas Heath hasn't had to do a lot today, but what he's done has been very good, the defender in Thomas Heath. Nichols, on the other hand, well, he's had plenty of it, and he's done a lot with it. Golden, I've loved his run off half-back as well. They will be a feature in the AFL Sydney final series, that's for sure. Tracking it back there was Foot, trying to get in there and cause the turnover. He does so now. Throws it on the left, and they go up the line. Demons are plenty in this area of the ground. Right, the handball over. Still looks like he's hobbling a little bit. Crisfield held without it. The umpire says play on, you're over it. Angel pushes it back to right. That's just a tired kick going forward. And Angel again onto Campbell. So they're getting some touches, the Demons, but not doing anything with it.
That's that breakdown again on the half-forward line.
Just a kick from Foot came in. And now moving it laterally are the Demons. McAllister. Handy little game. Hadn't had to do a lot in the back half. Good kick in that occasion. Oh, tracking it back is Golden. Looks like he's a little proppy as well. So, a few tired boys out there. The vast expanses of Mike Kenny has taken its toll on some of these players. Over the ball there was Watts. Golden did well just to read the play. Got the handball over. The umpire paid the mark. Well, that was a handball. He's actually paid the mark. Gus, have you seen that before? He's paid the mark from a handball.
I don't actually recall that, but I've seen a couple of funny umpiring decisions this year, such as a mark assist in our Manly game against Manly. Came off a Manly player onto the chest of the teammate, a mark.
Confusion reigns at the moment. In fact, no, the umpire. See, this is interesting. The umpire's paid the mark off a handball. Everybody else on the ground was willing to give up the free kick, and well, that'll be a nice one to look back through. Let's mark that down, Gus. About 5.5 minutes in the last quarter.
Yes, mark that one.
Not a highlight for the umpire on this occasion.
Nice kick from Collett there onto the chest of guess who, Mr. Mason.
Mason from well outside 50, although he's going to have a crack at it anyway. Why not? The kick's a great one. Right to the line. Only touched there by Kieran Wright. Oh, there would have been another goal in the column for Mason.
His game has been superb all round. He's working the air. Some skills displayed on the ground. His goal kicking has been deadly accurate.
And if you think about it, Gus, going forward, he struggled last week on Village Green. Probably the tight spaces there out at the University of New South Wales really doesn't allow for those long leads and the strength and the height of the big man to really dominate. But if we go looking at the finals, they'll be played at Henson Park and out at Blacktown where there's plenty of space to move. So good times for the Bulldogs.
Yes, it could work in Mason's favour because they won't have any grounds bigger than this one.
Robbie throws on the boot, goes forward on it. It's just landed in the lap of Henry Mason. So nothing going wrong for Mason this afternoon. Go back and kick it. Don't even think about dishing it off. It's been your day, and he's done the team thing again. So Keel on the end of this one.
He's a classy forward too, Jeremy Keel. I've had a lot of respect for him over quite a number of seasons.
He was the Dane Rampy lookalike Jeremy Keel. Over the years, it's been hard to discern between those two. Of course, Dane Rampy experiencing some great success now. And Keel has got success as well. He's put another on the board. And the Bulldogs are away. That's Jeremy Keel's second for the afternoon. And the Bulldogs' 15th goal. Margin 79 points.
Meantime, Pennat still sit on their 2 goals, both scored in the second quarter. Goalless in the first quarter, goalless in the third quarter and goalless to date in the last quarter. And furthermore, not looking like kicking a goal.
So they'll have dropped their last 2 games, Pennat Hills. Not the greatest preparation, as we've said on many occasions. They've got Sydney University next week, and they finish off back here at Mike Kenny Oval against the Dragons. And that would be a good game if you're out watching a bit of football to come down and have a look at that one. It will be a dress rehearsal for finals action. Back in the middle. Good work there from, I think it's Smith in the ruck. Sun just coming down into that awkward spot for our cameras, but we push on. Pennat Hills go forward. Can they get another goal on the board? They desperately need something out of this game. We've got a forward at the other end of the ground that's kicked, well, almost 3 times their score. In fact, he probably has kicked 3 times their score. Take into account behinds, and a couple of these had a crack at. And they need something. Delaquila, well, he's been a general trying to do something for his team this afternoon. Just a bit of a lone ranger at times, and just this linking up in the back line from the Bulldogs has been just first class.
Yes, it really has. They teamed together in that last line very, very well. If there's one bright spot, I suppose, that could come out of this match for Pennat Hills is the experience, the undoubted experience that the 4 youngsters are going to receive in a thrashing like this. This is something that they won't forget in a hurry, and hopefully it will stand them in good stead in the future.
Well, those youngsters, Preen now has gone into the ruck up against Widmer and just read brilliantly by Plant. He's been a find for the Bulldogs as well. They go forward. Parmenter, he's been such a stalwart of this Bulldogs club. Pops it over the top. Will it sit for Keel? Tracks it back. Has to work his way back on the right boot. Tries to go inside. Could just let him go too easily there. Did Barnes. And Keel gets another on the board. That's his third. And the Bulldogs are on. Well, they're just running around aimlessly at the moment. And the margin now, 85 points, and getting desperately close. In fact, you're going to say this could be an over 100-point defeat.
You couldn't rule it out, could you? And that episode, that play there from Keel was made to look a lot better than it should have been. Barnes' tackle was, well, like tissue paper.
On a couple of occasions this afternoon from Barnes, just questions on his intensity at the football, and that there was another example of that. Keel was just so easily just able to just get rid of him, and just trying to tackle with the arms was Barnes, and Keel, well, just went back and slotted another goal. Widmer and Preen. Now there's a move that's maybe something to come out of this, as they've got Preen in the ruck now, and he's done very well on 2 occasions so far. Adiri Wikrama now. Such urgency. Nice little pulled kick, although it's just gone straight to Kafalis. And Peter Kafalis gets enough of his own ball to need to be spotted up like that from the opposition. Golden, nice as you like, gives it to Collett. Let's say when they're top 6, the Kafalis, Colletts and the Goldens and the likes for the Bulldogs really get firing. They do look like a very good side that can go on, and of course they're the defending premiers, the Bulldogs.
They are.
Keel now, Gus with a right boot, brings it back nicely, and a late charge from Jeremy Keel. He's now kicked 4, and the margin now 91 points.
Yes, it's timely you mentioned the fact that they are the defending premiers. Today, I must say they've reminded me a lot of a team that did win the premiership last season. A quality outfit. There's not a weak link I can see anywhere in it. They run together, they pass together, they tackle together, they do everything together, and there's a real system about the way they play. I haven't seen Campbelltown play this year, but it's hard for me to believe that they could have upset this team, Uni of New South Wales, to the extent that they did last week.
There's a few Bulldogs players trying to hack into the YouTube account right now to try and delete that game. It was very much a strange effort and a strange result you take nothing away from Campbelltown, though, Gus. They were very good, and they have been a team on the improve at the back half of the season. But Bulldogs have certainly come out this afternoon and been a very different looking side to what we saw last week. Kafalis now, he's getting plenty of it. Looking for Ed Keel just over his head. Smith tracks it back. Jeremy Keel on his hammer in there as well. Trying to work it away out, and the umpire's seen a free kick here. It'll go to the Demons, and they're away. Just down the line looking for, in fact that's Rob Watts. Watts now comes inside. Finds Angel. Angel with a little kick across field. Finds Delaquila. Just loading up now. Crisfield running on. Decides not to go that way. Goes back to Angel. Now comes across to Crisfield, who's pushed forward. Crisfield's got Delaquila on the inside. Decides to run. This is a better looking piece of play from the Demons. Comes forward and a good mark taken by Thomas Angel. And that's the sort of football we've come to expect from Pennat Hills, and we've seen so little of this afternoon.
That's only the second mark I can remember our forward line, Pennat Hills forward line, taking inside 50 this match. 2 marks.
Angels kicked one of the 2 goals so far. This to add another one to the tally. Umpire's having a close look at it. She likes it. In fact, she doesn't like it. Oh dear, oh dear. 2 goals, 7 now. And I must admit, I'd already grabbed the pen and I was marking that one down, Gus.
Well, I don't know what the stats are about inside 50s or marks inside 50s today, but there's only 2 for Pennat Hills I can recall, and there've been many, many, many more from Uni of New South Wales, particularly from Mason.
All right, the Bulldogs bring it back in. They go back, finds Plant. A little bit of tete-a-tete happening on the boundary line at the moment. You can probably hear through our effects mics. Not a lot of comeback for the Demons players in that argument, I must say, especially on this afternoon's performance. And this one goes over the boundary line. Plenty of numbers around this. Golden, hands off, gives it well to Robbie. Robbie goes down the line, trying to invent something, but Wright was above it, but the kick wasn't. And just chopped off. And you really get the sense that neither team would be too unhappy if there was a malfunction of the clock, and we saw the siren go off early in this one, Gus.
I think the most pleasant sound that Pennat Hills players are going to hear all afternoon is that final siren. Quickly followed by the most unpleasant sound of what time training starts on Tuesday night, Gus. You think that Yardy will have them out in the track? He might put a bit of extra work into them this week, that's for sure.
McAllister in the last line of defence for the Bulldogs just pushes Delaquila over the line. Boundary throw in.
Kieran Wright leaves the field, a man who's played his heart out today, but if ever you've seen a player play till he stops, it's Kieran Wright.
Well, comes in Rodriguez up against Widmer and falls to the advantage of the Demons. A Diriwick Rama. Can they get another on the board? As you said, 2 goals in the second quarter, but nothing before or since then. Plant out of defence. Keel leading well up the ground. I've liked this game, especially in this last quarter. Playing a supporting role, of course, to Mason, who has 7. Golden, well, he'd be in my top 3, I reckon, this afternoon as well.
Yes, he's had a good game. As you say, he's a great running player, isn't he?
Really gives you that drive, and double team now on Mason. That's not a bad option at this stage of the game either.
They've got a lot of players who run well. They always seem to have, and when they're running, they've got 1 or 2 teammates running with them, which is a real difference, a real contrast to the way the Pennat Hills team goes forward.
18 minutes played in this final quarter. The margin's 90 points in favour of the Bulldogs. Just hovering around that magical 100-point margin. And the Demons doing their best to avoid that. They come forward now, the Demons have got an opportunity, but reading that one well was Ryan Plant, and he's had a great game as well. I mean, we could literally go through the list, I'm sure, Gus, and and we wouldn't find many passengers.
Well, despite the fact that they've kicked a lot of goals, East Sydney, they've had, or Uni of New South Wales, East Sydney, their defenders have, stood up so strong they had to keep Pennat Hills to 2 goals.
Yeah, they've given nothing away, the Bulldogs, at either end of the ground, and this passage of handball just indicative of their afternoon. Everyone hit a target, and then they found a player in running space. It was Golden, and, well, ruined the metaphor and slipped it through for a minor score. 17-8 now, margin 91 points. Quilla tried his best this afternoon. Parmenter with the rig rundown, couldn't get there in the end. Golden tracks it back as easy as you like, turns around and throws on the left. A big show and found Keel, Ed Keel. He's got a player on the lead in his brother Jeremy, and Mark taken just outside 50, too far out you'd think. So stick it on Mason's head. But Keel just opens up the margin, goes for it. Can he bring it back? Just can't get the accuracy. 17 goals, 9, so they're damaging their kicking efficiency at the moment, Gus.
Well, opened the quarter or the game with 6 goals straight. Hasn't quite been that accurate since, but nevertheless, 9 behind is not a bad score with that number of goals.
End of time on in this final quarter, just ticked over 20 minutes, and still some real ferocity at the football from the Bulldogs. They lead by 92 points, but playing this game out as if they were only a goal ahead. And that's the sort of thing you need to do in preparation for finals. Play every contest like it's your last.
Oh, indeed you do. And I've talked about percentage several times today, but gee, the best teams to get percentage off are the ones who are close to you on the ladder. And well, East Sydney or Uni of New South Wales couldn't be any closer than they are now. They'll really level up in that department this afternoon.
The kick was a good one and landed in the arms of Troon. He'll go back and have a shot on goal, just to make the margin 98 points. I really can't fathom that we're sitting here talking about a 100-point margin, driving to this game with so much expectancy. Troon gives it plenty of air and might have missed to the right. In fact, they like it. The old bent posts come into play, and Troon's got another one on the board for the Bulldogs. It's his first of the afternoon, but more tellingly, 18 goals to the Bulldogs, and don't they love that? They've all gathered around Troon to see off there in the right, and the margin 98 points, Gus.
Now, Craig, you did suggest earlier that the stats show Uni of New South Wales, Eastern Suburbs losing their last 3 matches prior to today.
Yep, they lost the prior. This will be their. Sorry, they lost the 2. So they defeated Balmain in round 13 quite handsomely, but then they went down to the Dragons by around about 40-odd points, and they dropped last week's game to the Bulldogs by roughly the same margin. Sorry, to the Campbelltown Blues. So
this is some turnaround for both teams, isn't it?
Certainly is. I mean, you're coming off. The Pennat Hills obviously dropped last week's game to North Shore. And of course, all those names we're talking about, North Shore, St George, Pennat Hills and the Bulldogs, are in the top 5 along with the competition surprise packet. No one at Manly Warringah will say they were a surprise, but they've come in their first year in the Premier Division, and they currently sit on top of the ladder. Whether they'll stay there or not as they go into finals is another question that needs to be answered yet, but they're a dangerous side, Manly Warringah, and they've really been the surprise packet of the year.
And they're used to winning. At one stage, I think they won 36 consecutive matches, and in any standard of football, that's a great achievement.
Yeah, they deserved their elevation into the Premier Division, did Manly Warringah, and they took the ball and ran with it, and they've set the standard in 2013. Pennat Hills now come through. Wales takes the mark on the far side. Very pleasant afternoon here. Pleasant for the spectators in the as far as weather-wise. Not so pleasant if you're a Pennat Hills supporter. It's been a long afternoon. And with plenty of stories around in the AFL Sydney competition at the moment, this 100-point defeat by the Bulldogs over the Demons will just add to the tapestry that is footy in Sydney at the moment. Robbie wrapped up in the tackle. Eventually got the ball away. Umpire gave him as much latitude as you like. Williamson now just shrugs the tackle, goes forward, needs a kind bounce, doesn't get it, sits up for Parmenter, can't put the brakes on quick enough, and over the boundary line. 24 minutes played. This game. Well, the only thing remaining is, can the Bulldogs crack the ton as far as the margin is concerned? It would have been in their wildest dreams to think that they were going to come out and win by 100 points over a very quality side in the Pennat Hills, or a quality club. I'll take that back a little bit. They haven't been a quality side this afternoon, Gus. They are a quality club, and they've got a lot of work to do to get back. Williamson throws it on the right boot, trying to bring it around. The umpire's seen something here, just holding off the ball. Pennat Hills.
He's one of their better players, Matthew Thomas, and I really think, despite a couple of indiscretions, Cameron Smith probably being the Pennat Hills' best. He's really tried hard in defence, and he's one of the few players that's shown him run with the football.
This one just going to be wrapped up. The umpire will throw this one in the air. 25 minutes gone. Margin 98 points. Best part of the ton. Widmer, he's been good in the ruck as well. Kafalis, well, he's been sensational. Umpire said on this occasion he threw it out, and the advantage played.
Tom Edgins for the ball to Preen.
To see out there, the sun coming right through the lens of the camera. They come inside. Smith, David. Can they get a late goal, the Demons? They go forward, and once again, just indiscriminate bombing into the forward line. Plant over. Heath, his kick, well, fortuitously lands for Towan, gets it back, and the kick is a much better one in front of Mason. Mason goes down the ground. He's umpire, sir.
Poor decision.
There's been a couple of poor decisions gone in that corner of the ground this afternoon. Kafalis, well, in fact, it's not Kafalis, it's Troon down there.
The suggestion that a player putting his head down like that in the future may well be penalised, let alone get a free kick for it.
That'll be a turnaround. Kevin Bartlett has his way. Delaquila on the right boot. Down the line, finds Vile. Haven't seen much of him today. And the final siren sounds, and it's a sad sight as the scoreboard goes up on the ground for the Pennat Hills Demons this afternoon. They've been outplayed, out-muscled, out-strength, and just outdone on every part of the ground, as the margin in the end works out to be 98 points in favour of a very determined and a very slick Bulldog side here at Mike Kenny Oval this afternoon. It was been round 16 between these two sides. They've turned it around. It was a 30-point odd margin the last time they played in favour of the Demons. On this occasion, it's 98 points in favour of the Bulldogs. As we go into the finals end of the season, not the preparation you want to have if you were a Pennat Hills Demons supporter. On the other side, it was good to see the Bulldogs turn their form around from last week's loss to Campbelltown. So, Gus, your thoughts on the game in the end? I mean, it's been a long day out for the Pennat Hills side, and they've got a bit of work to do during the week.
Well, on past form, it was hard to believe, as we've said several times, that Uni of New South Wales Eastern Suburb could possibly win with a margin like that, let alone win at all on Pennat Hills home ground. But win they have, and win very, very convincingly. I really haven't any thoughts on answers to the Pennat Hills debacle. The club has 5 or 6 injured players, experienced players at that, but to see more than 2 of them perhaps come back and be contributors for the remainder of the season is difficult to, well, not difficult, but it'll be difficult to have any more than 1 or 2 of them available, I would think. So the club will have to depend on the youngsters that were playing today. Some good must have come out of their experiences, because on the tail end of a loss like that, surely there is a lesson for them to learn, which maybe they can take into the future, and hoping the near future, not next year, but the next few weeks.
So challenging times for the Pennat Hills Demons as September looms. And on the other side of the ledger, it's been a dominant display this afternoon by this Bulldog side. They're set, they're ready for finals action, and it should be all great to watch. So wrapping it up here at Mike Kenny Oval, my thanks to Gus McKernan for joining us up here in the Bird's Nest. And we'll wrap it up here from Mike Kenny with the margin 98 points in the end. A dominant display from the Bulldogs. We'll catch you next week on the AFL Sydney Match of the Week.